Next, we'll be doing a series of board and commission appointments and reappointments. If you're familiar with the township, we have lots of boards and commissions that we fill those seats on those particular boards with residents of the township by appointment of this Board of Commissioners. So we will start to go down through them now. I'd be looking to accept a motion to appoint Andrew J. Ritter Jr. to the Lower Allen Township Vacancy Board for a 2-year term effective January 1, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Kutz, a second from Commissioner Black. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Congratulations, Mr. Ritter. You're here with us this evening. I'm sure you'll be sworn. I believe the swearing-ins will be all at the same time. Is that correct, Judge? Okay. Next, folks, I'd be looking to accept a motion to reappoint Richard Bonneville to the Lower Allen Township Zoning Hearing Board for a term of 3 years beginning January 1st, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Black, a second from Commissioner Kutz. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to appoint Jennifer M. Karen as the alternate to the Lower Allen Township Zoning Hearing Board for a term of 3 years beginning January 1, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Kutz, a second from Commissioner Black. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to reappoint Robert Edwards to the Lower Allen Township Stormwater Authority for a term of 5 years beginning January 1st, 2022.
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner Nagy.
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Kutz. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to reappoint Timothy Johnson to the Lower Allen Township Authority for a term of 5 years beginning January 1, 2022.
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner Kutz.
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Black. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to reappoint H. Edward Black to the Lower Allen Township Development Authority for a term of 5 years beginning January 1, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Kutz, a second from Commissioner Nagy. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries 4-0. Next, I'll be seeking a motion to reappoint Jay Blackwell to the Lower Allen Township Planning Commission for a term of 4 years beginning January 1st, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Black, a second from Commissioner Kutz. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to reappoint Gregory M. Mahan to the Lower Allen Township Recreation and Parks Board for a term of 5 years beginning January 1, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Kutz, a second from Commissioner Black. Any discussion? Motion carries, All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to appoint William, excuse me for pronouncing this wrong if I do, Laubenheimer as a regular member of the Lower Allen Township Civil Service Commission for a term of 6 years beginning January 1st, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Black, a second from Commissioner Kutz. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. And finally, I'd be seeking a motion to appoint Christopher T. Pouchot as the alternate to the Lower Allen Township Civil Service Commission to fill the unexpired term of William Laubenheimer until December 31st, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Black, a second from Commissioner Kutz. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. At this time, I would invite our District Justice, Deloge, you're up for the swearing in of these newly appointed and reappointed officials.
Well, it's good to have them everywhere, just so there's not making any assumptions.
We always sit there and say, that's how Santa gets them all done. So sometimes we'll go early or later.
Congratulations. Congratulations, everybody. And Josie, I would just like to mention, since Josie's Carbaccio's name was not mentioned, she had already been, we had already passed or appointed her in 2021, so she's being sworn in now in the reorganization year. But Josie Carbaccio is now on our Parks and Recs board. So thanks for serving, Josie. Next on our agenda this evening, is that it for the judge? Thank you, Your Honor, for being with us this evening. Appreciate it. Take care. Next on our agenda this evening is to appoint and reappoint various township officers to their roles. First, I'd be seeking a motion to accept and to approve Resolution 2021-R-01, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Lower Island Township, Cumberland County, Pennsylvania, appointing Ms. Helen R. Grundon as Township Secretary and appointing Mr. John M. Eby as Assistant Township Secretary for a 2-year term and establishing compensation.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Black, a second from Commissioner Kutz. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to approve Resolution 2022-R-02, appointing Thomas G. Bruneau, Jr. as Township Manager for a 2-year term.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Black, a second from Commissioner Kutz. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to approve Resolution 2022-R-03, appointing the firm of Brown, Schultz, Sheridan, and Fritz as the Township Auditors for a 2-year term.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Black, a second from Commissioner Kutz. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to approve appointing the firm of Caldwell and Kearns, P.C., in the person of Stephen P. Minor as Township Solicitor at a rate of $220 per hour, with Robert W. Deal serving as alternate effective January 1st, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Black, a second from Commissioner Kutz. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Congratulations, Solicitor Minor. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to approve appointing the firm of Michael Baker International as Township Engineer effective January 1st, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Kutz. I have a second from Commissioner Black, and I have a question. My question is when we took action on the original, or the initial appointment of Michael Baker firm in 2021, there was some discussion, to the best of my knowledge, that would just be a bridge until an RFP goes out to establish a township engineer permanently, based on our restructuring after our township manager, McCullough, had left. So is that what's going on with this evening as well? We're just re-upping this because we have to reorganize?
The intention was to go out with an RFP to get some proposals from several engineering firms. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to do that. Toward the end of the year, staff was kind of loaded up with projects. So this appointment continues the appointment that you made a couple of months ago, and we still intend to go out with the RFPs to get proposals from additional firms.
Okay. Do staff have any ballpark as to when that RFP may go out?
No.
Are we looking at the first half of the year? Or are we looking?
At the first half of the year, certainly.
Okay.
That first couple of months.
Okay.
February to March.
Okay. I'm satisfied at this point. I have a motion and a second. Commissioners, do you have any other questions?
Mr. President, if it helps, I'm happy to amend the motion to put an expiration of March 31, which would then mean we could just revisit this at our second March meeting and see if it's worth continuing that or see where we are with the RFP process or even a June 30 timeline, whatever would make more sense. The thought being that an indefinite 2-year appointment, doesn't guarantee an RFP process, but if we can put a timeline on the back end, then we can continue to monitor.
Okay, well, I have a second on the original motion at this point. So Commissioner Black, I guess the ball's in your court if you
Right.
wanted to pull that.
Staff, can you do that time?
Yeah, we can make that work. I also would just like to, so everyone knows, it's a professional service, so an RFP is not actually required. It's just an option, so.
Okay.
Since we took action so far, I will second my second.
I'm a little bit confused. What's your intention, Commissioner Black?
I'm confirming, staff has said they can meet the date to issue the RFP, and I'm confirming my second to
June
Commissioner Kutz's.
30 to June 30th?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Mr. President, to clarify, I believe the motion will be to appoint Michael Baker International as Township Engineer effective January 1, 2022 until January 30th, 2022. And I believe that's what Commissioners Black.
30th.
June, did I say January? June 30th, 2022. I believe that was Commissioner Black's second.
Okay. And just to add to that as well, I just wanted to say that the reason this stuck out to me is because I recall specifically that night, that conversation, and I wanted to just clarify. So I hope staff's okay with how we've clarified that, and we'll go from there. And if there's any updates or anything needs to be moved around, we'll probably see it at a subsequent meeting. Right? Good. So I have a motion on the floor, and I have the second on the amended motion. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, everybody. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to approve appointing John M. Eby as Township Sewer Enforcement Officer and appointing Gary Morrow as alternate Sewer Enforcement Officer effective January 1st, 2022.
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner Kutz.
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Black. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to approve appointing Richard A. Grove as Treasurer and Thomas G. Bruneau, Jr. as Assistant Treasurer effective January 1st, 2022.
So moved. Second.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Black. I have a second from Commissioner Kutz, as I heard that. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to approve appointing the Cumberland County Assessment Office as the township's delinquent street light assessment collector effective January 1st, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Kutz, a second from Commissioner Black. Is there any discussion or questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next on our agenda this evening is I'd be looking for a motion to adopt Resolution 2022-R04, recognizing Bryce Landis for 25 years of service to Lower Allen Township.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Black, a second from Commissioner Kutz. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Congratulations, Mr. Landis, on your 25 years of service. We'll be talking with you in a couple minutes. Next on our agenda this evening, we are doing employee recognitions for length of service. So I believe most of these folks are here with us this evening. Several of them are in our public safety department. So first, I would invite Alex Militex to come up to the center with me, please. Officer Militex. Next, I invite our Township Secretary, Helen Grundon. Helen, this correspondence is written as a commendation letter as well for your years of service to Lower Island Township, over your tenure at Lower Island, your ground responsibility and the tasks of administrative secretary within the administration department. Your commitment and dedication have not gone unnoticed. It is with great pleasure that I issue you this commendation letter honoring your 15 years of service to Lower Island Township. Thank you for your service. Mike, scroll out with us, Steve. Okay. Dear Lieutenant Foltz, this correspondence is written as a commendation letter for your years of service to Lower Island Township. Over your tenure at Lower Island, your grown responsibility and tasks as a lieutenant within the police department. Your commitment and dedication have not gone unnoticed. It is with great pleasure that I issue you this commendation letter honoring your 20 years of service to Lower Island Township. Thank you for your service. Last but certainly not least, Mr. Bryce Landis. Often we get to the big markers, but this is the big one, Bryce. So I'm going to read this resolution we just passed, and then I'll read your commendation letter. This is a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Lower Allen Township, Cumberland County, Pennsylvania, recognizing Bryce Landis. Whereas the Board of Commissioners of Lower Allen Township desires to express its recognition and gratitude for 25 years of service provided by Bryce Landis. Bryce joined Lower Allen Township in 1996 as a part-time EMT in the EMS department. Bryce was appointed in 1997 as a full-time EMT in the EMS department. Then Bryce, in 2005, was appointed as one of the first public safety officers in the public safety department here in Lower Allen Township. Bryce has received many letters of appreciation for a variety of reasons. Now hereby resolved that sincere gratitude and appreciation being hereby extended to you, Bryce E. Landis, for your 25 years of dedicated service to the citizens of Lower Allen Township, Cumberland County, and that this recognition be spread upon the minutes and records of Lower Allen Township in perpetuity. It was adopted today's date and signed by me and the seal of Lower Allen Township with our Township Secretary. Congratulations. Not joining us this evening is Officer Scarlato, and I will read his commendation letter out loud as well. So if you're listening, Officer Scarlato, this correspondence is written as a commendation letter for your years of service to Laurel Township. Over your tenure at Laurel, you've grown responsibility and tasks as a corporal within the police department. Your commitment and dedication have not gone unnoticed. It's with great pleasure that I issue you this commendation letter honoring your 15 years of service to Laurel Township and our police department. So congratulations, Officer Scarlato.
Mr. President, before you continue with the agenda, we do have one additional personnel introduction to make tonight. At your last meeting, the board adopted a resolution hiring Mr. Nate Sterling as an administrative assistant. And Nate was unable to join us at the meeting, but he's here tonight to meet the board, and I guess thank you for his appointment. So, this is Nate Sterling.
Welcome aboard.
Thanks, Nate.
Thank you, Mr. Manager, for bringing that to our attention, and welcome again, Nate. Next on our agenda this evening is audience participation. We are in a public meeting, so we do allow for audience participation. Any item on our agenda this evening, moving forward, if you're here to speak on or comment about, please let us know now, and when that item comes up, we will ask you to come to the podium. Is there anybody here this evening to speak on any other items on our agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on. Under your board president this evening, I'd be looking for a motion to approve check register of December 30th, 2021 in the amount of $120,919.23.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Kutz, a second from Commissioner Black. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to remove Lieutenant Douglas Foltz for the Laurel Township Police Department from probationary status effective 1/11/2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Black, a second from Commissioner Kutz. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to remove Lieutenant Donald J. Sentman for the Laurel Township Police Department from probationary period status effective January 11th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Black, a second from Commissioner Kutz. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be seeking a motion to remove Michael Leitner, a police officer in the Laurel Township Police Department, from probationary status effective January 11th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Kutz, a second from Commissioner Black. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next on our agenda is where we allow any business pertinent to Laurel Township to be discussed by anybody in attendance. Is there anyone here this evening to discuss any items or item pertinent to Laurel Township or any business regarding Laurel Township? Seeing none, we'll move on to our township manager.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to turn this over to Commissioner Kutz, who contacted staff late last week with urgent addition to the agenda. So, Commissioner Kutz.
Thank you,
all
Mr.
yours.
Manager. Mr. President, every 10 years, the Legislative Reapportionment Commission convenes to draw state House and state Senate districts based on population growth that has been experienced in every region of the state. They draw 203 House districts and 50 Senate districts. after their preliminary map, which was released in the middle of December of this year, there's a 30-day window for public comment. As a board of commissioners in a township, we have the ability, we have the opportunity to comment as to how our residents would best be served through these maps. Mr. President, in the past, it may not have been necessary to provide such public comment from the board's perspective. However, with the proposed preliminary map, there is appears to be need for our township to comment, since several of our residents will be disenfranchised through the new map, in the sense that many of them will be split between two districts through our residents who attend Mechanicsburg Area School District. So, Mr. President, we have a draft of a letter here for the board's approval, which would encourage the Legislative Reapportionment Commission to unify Mechanicsburg School District within the same legislative district. This would affect the residents in the western part of our township who attend Mechanicsburg Area School District. By encouraging the unification of Mechanicsburg School District into one rather than two legislative districts, this would allow our residents to be better represented than the current proposal, which currently splits Lower Allen Township into a couple of districts and lumps our residents' representation in with Cumberland Valley School District, and would, in effect, remove the voice that Lower Allen Township would have by placing us in a position where we would not be able to have a voice in Harrisburg for that potential to happen. So, Mr. President, that's why there's this draft letter is before us. The deadline for public comments is January 15th of this year. So the urgency of this matter is it must be approved tonight, if it is to be approved at all, in order to be submitted in time for the deadline. I would be happy to welcome any questions or comments about the letter or the need for the letter as well from fellow board members.
Commissioners, are there any questions or comments at this point from you?
I think it's very appropriately done, and we should sign it and get it on its way.
I think, I mean, and I appreciate the work that went into the language on this, and we heard a lot about the school districts, and a lot of that makes a lot of sense to me. The thing that rings with me, seeing what's going on with the redistricting as it stands right now, and I'm glad we have a chance to weigh in perhaps in this capacity, because that this was thought of. The way things are separated, or way things are presented right now, in my view, we don't become as important, maybe proportionately, that as we in the future as we do now with respect to who's representing us. So, for instance, I just know by population alone, by gaining Hampton Township in our district, or in the 88th, and losing Upper Allen, and the way the other municipalities shake out with that, we no longer have those numbers. And so I like the idea for our residents that our representation, I'm sure we'll be represented well from whoever represents us and wins an election, but competing with Hampton Township for that, I think, is a little bit harder than competing with perhaps some other municipalities to be at the top of our representatives list. So I would be in favor for all of these reasons that are stated here, but as well as just in general, I think I wouldn't want to miss an opportunity that we could weigh in where we would lose ground with respect to how we're represented. So I think that right now we stand to be very important to our representative. Not that our particular representative wouldn't make us very important, but down the road, who knows? So I would be in favor of sending this letter and support in our capacity as a Other comments? Questions? I would say at this point, how do we want to move this?
Mr. President, if there's no other comments, I would be happy to move to approve the letter to the Legislative Reapportionment Commission from the Board of Commissioners encouraging them to unify Mechanicsburg School District within the 88th Legislative District.
And I would second that motion.
I have a motion to approve the letter as it's written, and then it would be signed as written from Commissioner Kutz. I have a second from Commissioner Black. Is there any other discussion or comments, commissioners? I'll call for the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries 4-0. So at this point, how will this play out then? Will we then at a later date put our signatures on this?
Actually, in the signature file, there is the final draft of the letter in there for all of your signatures.
Oh, there is. Okay, great.
We're clairvoyant.
Okay, great. I'm glad to have this opportunity to weigh in public comment.
Mr. President, I would make one comment. I don't think this is required, but I would prefer if on the first line of the letter, we capitalize township and commissioners.
Mr. President, if a new motion is needed, I'll happily.
What's the word? Thank you. I'm learning how to be in a room full of lawyers. All right, so we're good to go on that. The motion was passed, and we are going to move on then to. And is there anything else under our manager this evening?
Yes, sir.
Nothing. We'll go on to commissioner reports. We'll start with Rebecca Davis, John Eby, Rick Grove, Renee, Tom, Aaron, looking forward to serving. Congratulations. Commissioner Black?
I would like to congratulate all the people who got sworn in tonight and thank them for agreeing to volunteer their services to this municipality.
Is that it, sir? Thank you. Commissioner Kutz.
Thank you, Mr. President. Briefly again, a couple that are still here, thank you for your willingness to serve. Volunteer positions are always difficult to fill. We appreciate your desire to that we all have as well to make the township a better place for our residents. We can only do that through your service on our boards and commissions. Mr. President, I also want to extend a warm welcome to Commissioner Josh Nagy. And I will say, for those here and watching at home, if you get a chance to know Commissioner Nagy, the one word that comes to mind to describe Josh is genuine. I think you'll find he's the most genuine person I've ever met, and I would hope that you would sit down and have a conversation with him, and feel free to reach out with any issues to Josh as well to the rest of us. But Commissioner Nagy, I'm very much looking forward to serving with you and my other colleagues as well. As I mentioned last meeting, we had a very productive 2 years. I think through our reappointments tonight and through the leadership that we have, it'll be another successful 2 years. And I'm looking forward to serving with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Nagy.
Thank you, guys. I'm honored to be here. Thank you to all the appointees and, more importantly, years of service awardees as well. My goal to be here was to be part of and to represent this community. My goal is to make sure every vote that I make is for the betterment of the township, the betterment for those of us who live here. Thank you to you guys for your support, getting me on board, getting me up and running, to township staff for your help thus far, and welcoming me. I look forward to meeting with all of you guys more in the coming months and learning more about the township and learning your goals and wishes. But lastly, I could not have made it to this point without the support of my family and, most importantly, the love and wisdom of my wife. So, thank you all.
Is that it, Commissioner?
That is it, short and sweet.
All right. Well, I'll just start by saying thank you as well. I'll start with the board. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for the trust that you've given to me to lead the board right now. And I know that some of the discussions that we've had, there's a lot going on, and I really appreciate your faith in me. And I want to promise you that I will continue to serve with that fidelity and carry out these duties with integrity. I promise you that. I'll do my best to do that. I would like to thank my beautiful wife, my wonderful wife, Vicki. When we moved into the township and I decided to start coming to meetings and getting involved, she would just be saying, "You going to a meeting tonight? You going to a meeting tonight?" I would say yes. And then when the opportunity came up to run for this board, we talked about it. We didn't have much time, but we talked about it, and we jumped into that fire really quick. And she was so supportive. So I want to thank you for all of your support. The township really gains a good one with you, sweetie. I can say that to her. She's good with that. But I'd like to thank our friends that are watching tonight or that are here as well. What's a community without neighbors? Like the Pages tonight, this afternoon, George stopped over. He didn't know I was being sworn in tonight, but I had to tell him. But he just called and said, "Hey, you want some deer meat?" Deer bologna. So, but no, we've got great neighbors here in the township, all over the township, and I've been able to gain a lot of friends by serving on the board. In the president role, I've developed a lot of great relationships as well. I would like to really welcome you, Josh, to this board, Commissioner, and I know it's been a long road for you, and your hard work has certainly paid off, and we're so grateful to have you with us, really. And I know Amber's a good soul to be around, so you're a lucky guy there. But I would like to thank the commissioners. I would like to thank staff. The last 2 years has been educational, but really rewarding. And you have made it as easy as it can be in many cases to get our job done here. So thank you for allowing us the space that we need sometimes to be able to do what we believe collectively is in the best interest of the residents of Lower Island Township. So thank you. I'll say moving forward, the next 2 years, we don't know what, I think there's a lot of space between now and even 6 months from now. But I would say that we are poised. We have all kinds of great opportunities here in Lower Island Township, and I'm just glad to be a part of that. And my commitment to the residents of Lower Island Township is to serve faithfully to you. I would also like to point out a couple of other folks that are here this evening. One is Richard F. Shin. Come on, stand up or something. Rick's back there tonight for the first time in a long time. Rick just retired, and we celebrated that retirement last week. But Rick's been serving Lower Island Township for over 30 years on the Board of Commissioners. He retired. Essentially, Josh has filled those shoes, and those are going to be big shoes to fill, Rick, but we know you're going to be with us a lot, so thank you for your service. Yep. And I would also like to point out, having been sitting out there for a long time, and then the opportunity came up to run, had I not won my election, I would have still kept coming to meetings, but I was told that a lot of people don't. And I would just like to thank Mr. Joe Schwartz for sticking it out and not only being a good resident here in Lower Allen Township, he ran for Township Commissioner, but he has faithfully been coming to meetings before the election and after the election. So the more we can get residents in the township engaging in local government here, the better. And you're a testament to the beginning of some of those things, Joe, where residents, you don't have to necessarily win elections to be involved all the time, but thank you for continuing to stick it out. So having said all of that, I would like to just confirm, we've had some discussions in 2021 about not having a meeting on January 10th because there would be almost no business to do according to staff. Is that still something staff is interested in canceling, is the January 10th meeting, since we did our reorg tonight and we did some of our other business we would have done on January 10th tonight?
Enthusiastically, yes.
Okay, well, since you're leading the ship, I will then now come to the commissioners and just make sure that that is okay with the commissioners, that we will not have a meeting January 10th, but then we would reconvene. That would be on the 24th of January. So having said that, thank you all folks for being here. I look forward to having some great conversations. Have a great night. Meeting adjourned.